I'm standing in front of a 57-year-old B-52H. There have been several attempts to replace this aircraft. None of them have been able to do what this airplane is capable of. Here is Major Keith Vandegrift to give us a tour and tell us more about what the B-52 can actually do.
So the first thing everybody generally looks at is obviously the eight throttles for the 8 different engines. Generally people fly in the bottom, but you can kind of fine tune the engines. Some people use 4 and 5 to kind of make small throttle adjustments there. The airplane doesn't have ailerons, it has air brakes. The air brakes are set right here. When you move the yoke, you actually raise the air brake on one side. When we fly around in the pattern, or do a landing, we use air brakes in position 4, and that kind of gives us the most control authority because they're about halfway up. And so when you make a left-hand input, this one goes down and that right air brake goes up, or vice versa. I think I said that backwards. So it gives you a little bit more control in the pattern for a given amount of yoke deflection versus, all the way down. The next thing people kind of gravitate to is the crosswind crab system. So obviously our tip gear is 148 feet apart. We have a crosswind crab selection here, so we figure out what our crosswind component is. You say, hey, that's 70 degrees or 60 degrees off at 10 knots. It looks like it's at 4 degrees of crosswind crab. So we pull up the crosswind crab knob, turn it left or right depending on the wind direction, and it's set right here in this. So what's happening is the front and the aft gear are rotating. So what we're trying to do is set the crab of the airplane so that we're flying straight down the runway and the wheels are aligned with the runway when we touch down. It's almost like landing a glider, if you've ever done that before. So you basically fly it down onto the runway, rotate the airplane out, and the goal is to land with the aft trucks touching down first and the front trucks about a half wheel diameter above the aft truck. And it's going to be a little bit of a, it's not greasing it on like you do on a tricycle landing gear. It's a firmer touchdown. But what you want to avoid is if you land too fast, because of the angle incidence of the wing, you'll land front truck first. And that can cause a lot of bouncing and PIO and stuff like that. So we kind of accept a little bit firmer touchdown and land on that way. Obviously, we got the 8 engine instruments, one for each engine. Obviously, you got engine pressure ratio, RPM, EGT, and fuel flow. We also have a fuel totalizer, our landing gear indicator. This is a fuel totalizer right here, so that takes in everything we have from each individual quantity indicator, which is out here. No automatic fuel at all. We do everything on our own. It's based on a fuel sequence that Boeing has calculated for us.